Hi, I'm Christopher Hein, and today we're going to talk about the Kaeshi Waza practice that we do at my school. So Kaeshi just means turnover. So Kaeshi Waza means turnover practice. That's where you're turning over the techniques. One person's doing it, and then the other person's doing it, and then the other person's doing it. Whatever it is the technique, right? Doing the technique to that person. So we do it with a knife. It's a real cool practice. If you want to see the techniques appear a lot, this practice will pretty much guaranteed help you see the techniques a lot. It's a pretty low level practice. It's pretty chill, so it's fun to move around. I compare it to easy rolling in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So if you've ever done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and someone just says, hey, let's roll, meaning let's just mess around a little, we're not going to go too crazy on each other, then that's what this kind of practice is for Aikido. In lots of ways, it really lends itself more towards armed grappling than Aikido specifically, but it's a good tool to see how the techniques come off. So I'm going to call Josh over here. We're going to go to work. Josh? All right, so let's talk about Kaeshi Waza as we practice it here in the dojo. So the Kaeshi Waza practice we have is different than maybe you would see in other schools. In other schools, Kaeshi Waza, when they say Kaeshi Waza, they're usually talking about a set of techniques that turn over, right? So like, for example, if Josh started to do Ikkyo to me, right, then I could step out, do Ikkyo to him, and that would be Kaeshi Waza, and that's the same usage of the word we're using. It's just the practice doesn't look like that. The practice starts really simply. One person has the knife and the other person gets to start with a katate-dori grip, right? So we start in this configuration, and then from here the objective of the person with the knife is to get free and use the knife, and use the knives loose, because this is not a cutting practice, right? So if the practice just looked like this, that would be a crummy practice, because we would just be I would be practicing my stabbing skills and Josh would be practicing his not getting stabbed skills. But the objective of this is to actually practice the technique. So if I get free, sure, I'll go to stab Josh, but it's going to be real slow and chill so he can actually get it back under control and then he can start to work it. Now, also on his side, his objective is to try to get the knife away from me so he then has the knife, and that's the Kaeshi, right? So it's switching over. He's taking the knife so then he could use the knife on me, and I'm taking the knife so I can use it on him. Now when you start this, you guys are going to do it really terribly, almost guaranteed, because, and I don't mean that your performance of the techniques is going to be bad. What I mean is you're going to do it really hard and crazy, and there's a place for that, but that place is really rondori, and that's not the place for this kind of drill. So it should start out real slow, and Josh and I hopefully will start out really, really slow for you, and we'll kind of build a little bit. But so, I begin trying to do something like that. Oh, and I switch, and I come around here like this, and I'm trying to get free, and then Josh is getting it, and he's working. Now he's got the knife, okay, and Josh is coming in at me, and I'm working. Oh, and I got it, and I come back over, and he's setting up a technique. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and right now we're going ultra, ultra light, and we're not resisting each other at all. We're just kind of working the knife, okay, and that's kind of where you should start. You could start this from lots of ways, but just kind of basically, so I almost give him something, so oh, he's got that Nikyo, and I'm not going to try and take it away from him. He gives me a Yoko Manuchi, and that sets up my Kodagaish, and go into here like this, and then there's a Nikyo yet again, boom, and that's the Kodagaish, but I'm not going to take it because I want something different right now, Sankyo. Doesn't matter what we do, I just didn't want to do Nikyo, Kodagaish over and over, and if it works out that way, it works out that way. But what you're building towards is a more active practice. Now, if I have the knife away for too long, I'm just going to present my hand again, and he's going to get it, right? Most of the time, though, I'll give it to him in some kind of cutting action, right? And he'll work from there to get it out, right? But when we're going at it, we're not really giving the knife to each other at all. We're just kind of trying to take the knife and get the knife, and you'll see other techniques appear. So it should look like this. So you get the basic idea from that. So you're going to see the techniques appear over and over again because you're giving each other the opportunity to do the techniques. So that's not it at its highest level. You're going to have to go another level up. You won't see as many techniques. But for developing the setups for the techniques, that's the best way to go. All right, so I'm Christopher Hein, Joshua T. My Islamic game is behind that camera right there.